Attention, duelists! If you could all stop staring at my hair for a moment.
We're back with another video. So I put a question out on social media a couple of weeks back. I wanted to get some feedback on this, and I'm curious what you guys think about it. I'm curious if they're ever going to create a new kind of monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! So let's discuss this. So I popped the question on social media a couple of weeks ago.
When I win this card game, we'll be married, Mai.
I want to know if people thought Yu-Gi-Oh! Would ever create a new monster. The last time Yu-Gi-Oh! Introduced a new monster was Lynx back in 2017. It changed the entire grid. It changed the entire game. And I'm curious if they'd ever do anything like this again. So I'm going to introduce you and I'm going to kind of walk you through the mentality of what I would like to see in the future from Yu-Gi-Oh! Doubt it'll ever happen, but for me, it makes sense. So I'll walk you through it, but let's go through some of the submissions and some of the feedback that we got from other people. All right, so the first one right out the gate, Mike Martin. He's like, God, please no.
Talk to the hand, bitch.
Too much already. Just expand on what we got. I can totally understand why this wouldn't be a thing. I kind of hope that there's something new added to the game. Not to say my idea is great or anything, but I think there's a lot more room for improvement in the game. But at the same time, there is a lot to it right now. So understand where Mike's coming from with this one. It is pretty advanced as it is. Then Ethan commented, he said, I think they'll just keep what we have, maybe release side formats that won't get competitive support and just keep moving on. I mean, right now it seems that there's a steady flow of new monsters being created. We have Speed Duel, which is something that, I don't know. I feel like we kind of missed the ball on. I mean, you take a look at these Rush Duel cards, the way that they're making Rush Duel, the way that the game is made and the way it's played as well. And some of the support is just such a cool game. And we just kind of got like Diet Yu-Gi-Oh! With Speed Duel. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if there's any more formats. Of course, you got the games like Cross Duel and stuff like that. But really, there isn't a whole lot coming on the new frontier as far as that's concerned. So Ethan, probably good input there. I could definitely see this game just carrying on as it is. Now, I've been playing the game probably since 2002, the summer of 2002, maybe into the fall. There's a lot of old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Players and a lot of people that are looking to mix things up. Jesse may be one of these people. He said, I hope they do. It would really pique my interest.
Mind if I step in?
I think anytime you add a new way to play, a new kind of play, people want to get involved, especially the pro players. They want to be as good as this game as they can be. And just introducing a new element like that would be really cool. But again, I don't think it'll happen anytime soon. And there was one more piece of feedback that I got that was really cool. It said, I could see it now. They add link pendulums. He's like, no, for real. I'd actually love to see something groundbreaking come into the game, like a totally different summoning style or something. But I honestly think they'll stick with building what they have so far. I could be wrong, though. They do pull left field moves from nowhere sometimes, so who knows? All I know is Yu-Gi-Oh! No matter what direction it takes is awesome as hell, and I enjoy dueling. It helps me reconnect with my inner child. That's really what it's all about. It's about having fun. I know there's a lot of pressure to be as good as possible, or that, competing in tournaments is the only thing that's important. But even guys who take the game super seriously will tell you that it literally is all about having fun. If you're not having fun, you really shouldn't do it. So that kind of brings me to the different kind of monster that I had kind of put into my head, and I'll give you some reasoning behind it. So the new kind of monster I would really like to see is a Necro monster. You have Xyz, you have Pendulums, you have Synchro monsters, you have Fusion monsters, you have all these, you have Links now. To see a Necro monster and really to try to explain it is pretty simple. It used to mean something in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! When you would banish a monster or remove it from play, as they used to call it, because it completely eliminated that monster from the game. You wouldn't be able to use it. Now, with the way archetypes are formatted, the way the game is formatted, banishment literally doesn't mean anything anymore. You may as well just put it in your graveyard. It's just another place to put cards that you're just going to get back anyway. So what I like to see is a Forbidden Zone be put into the gameplay. And you wouldn't really have to change the mat. In fact, the Forbidden Zone could be your center field zone. You wouldn't have to replace it by any means, but if you implemented a forbidden zone to absolutely put cards away completely for the game, it would actually kind of bring some meaning back to the term banishment. So if you made a necromonster, all of the necromonsters you made, I thought it would be cool if you modeled them after actual cards in the game and kind of made them look dead. I think that would look pretty dope. But the idea for a necromonster would be it can only be necro summoned by banishing 2, like in this case, level 8 fiend monsters from your field, hand, deck, or graveyard to the forbidden zone. And the card ruling would be cards in the forbidden zone cannot be removed until the duel has ended. So you can't take those cards out of the forbidden zone for any reason at all. Get rid of them completely. Now, I know a lot of players be like, that's freaking dumb. That's a dumb idea. But if you go back to the original game of Yu-Gi-Oh! In the start, when you would banish a monster, it was gone. So if it happened back then, it could easily happen now. Now, with the way the game is played now, I could see some pushback on it. But either way, with this particular card, negate when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, negate the activation of that card and banish it to the forbidden zone. If 2 monsters with the same name were used as material for the necro summoning of this monster, this card's effect may be activated twice in one turn. When this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, banish it to the forbidden zone. So overpowered as hell, but once it's gone, it's gone. And that's pretty much the idea. Overpower the shit out of these cards and absolutely just forbid them from coming back into the game. I know it sounds a little crazy, but like I said, way back in the day when you would have a card removed from play or banished, you weren't getting it back. So now that's not a thing anymore. Now banished monsters are just as good as monsters in the graveyard, and depending on what deck you play, sometimes better. So I'm curious what you think about this kind of monster, what your feedback is. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to get your guys' feedback, and maybe we'll do a follow-up if you guys have any ideas. Make sure to subscribe. All of the links below. We got you covered on TikTok, obviously here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, at Attention Duelists. We'll continue with the content, and we appreciate your support, so we'll holla at you soon. Until then, I honestly think they'll just stick with building. I knew she was going to bark.
You know, there's something you should know, so I'm gonna tell you so. Don't sweat it. Forget it. Enjoy the show.
Deuces.